And what a treat for us today in this busy summer season. We have with us Austin Shepard, one of the most highly decorated riders in the NCHA, a $10 million rider to be exact. Austin, thank you so much for joining us all the way out in a quiet pasture that he drove out to us just so that he could give us a quiet interview. Thanks, Austin.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Well, we're really excited to talk to you about some recent events in your life, especially with your horse, Kittenish. You two have partnered up to earn quite a bit of money the last couple of weeks. So dive into that for us a little bit.
Well, yeah, she's just been a spectacular mare her whole career. She's 5 now, and in June in Las Vegas at the Pacific Coast Derby, she was second in the 5 and 6-year-old, and then at the Summer Spectacular in July in Fort Worth, she was the 5 and 6-year-old champion. And we just got home from the run for $1 million, and we were lucky enough to win the cut there.
And let's dive into that a little bit more specifically, because the money that you won there put her in the spot of the 3rd highest winning mare in cutting history. Talk about specifics and the money that you two have brought home together.
Yeah, I mean, from the very first show we went to there at the Futurity, she's just been a consistent winner, consistent finalist, and you know, she just seems to come through at the biggest times when the money's up.
Well, I think it's pretty cool. She's built up her own little fan base, and that fan base calls her the Queen, and I think that's a very fitting name for a horse of her type. She's also, I've heard you even say that she has a Michael Jordan type mentality. So talk about what sets her apart from the rest of the horses in the industry.
Well, you know, I get asked a lot of time, what's her one characteristic that makes her who she is? And I really feel like she just doesn't have any flaws. And I've ridden very, very few horses, if any, like that. Every horse you're showing to their strength, and with her, it's just a matter of me doing my job, and she takes care of the rest. She's smart. She's incredibly athletic. You know, she's quick in front of a cow. She has huge moves across the pen. She does. If I do my job, she's pretty well a winner if I can get her shown.
I'm curious about her story, though, and the beginnings of how you two paired up and what it was like from the start. So give us an idea of what her story was like from the very beginning of day one.
Well, she's actually from the first crop of horses that Billy Wolf has raised. So he raised her, and he sent her to Roy Stall Cup in Texas to ride her 2-year-old year. I got her the 1st of December in her 2-year-old year, and have had her ever since. She was a very nice 3-year-old, obviously, and was just a real pleasure to train. She was one of those horses that, you know, in September you were counting down the days to when you got to show her, and that's usually not the case. We usually want every day we can get, but she's been special all along, and had a great futurity on her, and ever since she's you know, she hasn't let us down yet.
Well, you and her are both very deserving of every single accolade that you're still adding to your resume as we speak, and it's easy to say that you definitely have a good team, but even aside from you two, you have some great people behind you. I want to touch on your family legacy. Talk about what this means to have your family surrounding you and even involved in the same things that you are.
Well, our history in cutting started with my dad. He was the first one on our family. He was working for a guy in college that put him on a cutting horse, and he fell in love with it, and rode him the rest of his life. And he taught me, and gave me the love for it. Obviously, taught me how to be a horse trainer and how to handle a horse business. And my son has done very well. He was the non-pro futurity champion, NCHA Derby futurity champion, did quite well, and then turned in his non-pro card 3 years ago this summer it was, and has had a really good professional career so far. My daughter Kaylee shows in the non-pro and does very well, and my son recently got married in November to Cameron, my daughter-in-law, who actually gets Kittenish ready, and she does very well showing too. So it's been a really great thing for our family, raising our kids in this business.
Wow, I can only imagine. Well, the entire Shepard family, I would say, is a great depiction of the best that the National Cutting Horse Association has to offer. And you know what? A great example of your good character and heart, I will say for the audience to know, you drove all the way out to this quiet pasture to give us a good interview. You cut out the time, very easy to work with, and you were so kind and fun to catch up with today. So thank you so much for carving the time out of your weekend.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.